What is going on, guys? It's your boy Deathgun with another Monster Hunter World video. Today I'm going to be showing you my favorite build in the game at the moment and something I'm having a lot of fun experiencing with. It's called my Taroth Sword Poison Raw Gold build, and it focuses around the brand new Taroth Longsword, which by no means is the highest DPS longsword, but it's up there with the best. So without further ado, let's get on to looking what it has to offer. It is an amazing longsword, rarity 8, boasting really high attack, very good sharpness with the possibility to reach white sharpness quite high. It has very nice affinity. It has hidden poison element. It has one level 2 slot, 20% defense boost, and one augmentation slot. It is an amazing weapon. I highly advise, if you're a longsword user, you're going to want to go out there and get this weapon. I believe it's the best Cove Taroth longsword. On top of that, it's limited until he comes back, so make sure you go out there and farm it up. For our armor set, we have the Wrath Soul Helm B, giving us 1 point into critical boost and 2 level 1 slots. For our chest, we have an amazing chest piece, the Cove Taroth IRA, giving us 2 stun resistance and level 2 critical boost. Overall, 2 very nice skills along with the level 1 slot. In our arms, we have the Kaiser Van Braces A, giving us 2 points into weakness exploit and a level 1 slot. Overall, very nice gloves. For our waist, we have the Nergigante Coil B, giving us 2 points into attack boost and a level 2 slot. For our legs, we have Death Stench Heal B, overall one of my favorite, giving us Handicraft level 2 and 2 level 1 slots. For our charm, we have the Attack Charm level 3. For our mantles, we can either go with the Rocksteady Mantle or the Evasion Mantle. Either one works great and allows you to deal extra damage. The Affinity Booster helps a ton, getting our crits exactly where we want them to be. And since this build focuses around critical hits and weak point exploit, that's what we want the most. Now I'm going to be showing you guys the skills, the slots, and the decoration this build has to offer, so you have a general idea of what you're going to be working with. So without further ado, let's take a look at the build more in depth. Alright, first off we have attack boost level 6, which gives us a really nice boost to our raw damage, seeing as it's an elementless build, and a really nice affinity boost. We have stun resistance, seeing as it's a nice additive, and most of the skill comes from one armor piece. We have critical eye level 3 to give us 10% more affinity and get our base affinity to 25%. Critical boost level 3 increases our damage by critical hits up to 40%. Weakness exploit level 2 is an amazing ability that gives us extra affinity when we hit weak points. We have Handicraft level 2, which gets us right to white sharpness. Since we have protective polish, we can conserve that white sharpness a lot longer, but if you guys want, you could add even more Handicraft. Protective polish, as I told you, will help you keep your white sharpness for a long time, and non-elemental boost will just get our raw damage even higher. Overall, it's an amazing build. When it comes to the decorations, we have a sharp jewel in our sword, we have 2 expert jewels in our helmet. In our chest, we have the last steadfast jewel to complete stun resistance. In our gloves, we have the expert jewel. In our waist, we have an elementless jewel, so we can get that extra damage as well. In our legs, we have the attack jewel 1, and we also have one more slot that I'm not using, waiting to get one more attack jewel. Meaning when I actually get that jewel, we'll max out our attack boost and we'll be able to get even more damage. So whatever numbers you guys see in this build, if you happen to have one extra attack jewel, you're going to be able to deal a lot more damage overall. And if you guys happen to have any more changes to these builds, whether it's armor pieces or decorations, let me know in the comment section below. Now we're going to get into the fun part. I'm going to be showing you guys the full damage this build can do, and that's where things get really interesting. I'm going to be showing you guys the Spirit Blade combo, so you have a general idea of how much it deals as you build up your Spirit Helm Breaker and your Spirit Gauge. So first off, we're taking a look at the white gauge, and as you can see, we're still dealing some pretty good damage. Right now we are unbuffed. We have not taken any demon drug or anything that can actually give us more damage, and we're still dealing massive numbers. Let's take a look at our first Helm Breaker. Our damage is incredible. It's 110 base damage on our first Helm Breaker. If we go to our yellow bar Helmbreaker, we're dealing a top of 60, which is really good. And when we hit the white Spirit Helmbreaker, which we should never really hit, we're still dealing some pretty nice numbers at 38. Now guys, I know some of you still want me to show you the damage you can do if you were buffed. Maybe with some demon drug, you know, with some affinity booster. So I'm going to be showing you guys the damage you can do if you're a little buffed. Here I'm going to be using demon drug and my affinity booster. And we're going to be taking a look at 3 levels of Spirit Helmbreaker. The first one is dealing 128 damage. That is amazing, guys. The second, which is our yellow bar Spirit Helmbreaker, is dealing 70 damage. And our last, which is our white bar Spirit Helmbreaker, is dealing a tops of 41. Now guys, keep in mind I have not eaten and I'm not buffed by anything like a hunting horn. Now, with that being said, I'm going to be showing you some in-depth footage of me fighting Taroth with this build. There's a lot of things you can do with this build without having to lose out on a lot of damage. And that's what I'm going to be showing you. I'm going to be showing you guys the damage I can deal to this monster and overall how the build performed in this amazing battle. On top of that, I'm going to give you guys some really sexy footage for you to enjoy while I'm in the background talking about my build. So, here we go. I'm going to be dealing some damage to Taroth's weak points. We have the affinity booster down, and you're going to see the damage I'm dealing to this big dude. We're going to be able to break off his shell in a matter of seconds while our buddies are on their way back. By the way, shout out to everybody that I've been running the raids and everything with in the game. I know, it's not a raid, it's a siege. I was excited. Anyway, they've been great and they've been a lot of fun. Samurai, Cloaked Reaper, Meatball, all you guys. If I forgot to mention you, it's just the heat of the moment. I'm back. I haven't had a lot of time to play, and I had to get this build out there because I actually left it halfway made before I had to go out on vacation. But now that I'm back, I had time to finish it up, test out numbers, and this is pretty much an amazing build that you guys are definitely going to enjoy. What I really like about this build, on top of the fact that it can deal incredibly high amounts of damage and look really cool, is the fact that it goes away from the meta. The meta is always going around Nergigante's Longsword, Devil Joe's Longsword, and last but not least the Divine Slasher. This gives players another option to go along with the top longswords in the game, making it overall an amazing weapon, and its looks are completely unique. And like I told you guys before, the fact that it's a timed event makes it even better. Now, with that being said, I'm going to be showing you guys a little something that you can do to make this build a little different and survive a lot longer. If you're a player that needs to make sure your damage is good, but you want to get in some abilities that help you survive, whether it's, you know, more defense, more elemental resistance, more vitality, whatever it is that helps you survive, this build allows you to do so without losing your base damage. And the way you do that is simply by switching out 3 decorations, and that's what I'm about to show you. Now that you've seen a full fight, I hope you've enjoyed everything you've seen so far. As I told you, I try to put in good videos while I talk all this crap, because dragging out a video for so long, you know, it can get kind of tedious, but there's a lot of information that must be put in there to answer all the questions. Now, here are the decorations you guys seen before. If you take out your expert jewels and put in some vitality jewels, once you've eaten, you can go up to 200 health, giving you a lot of survivability. And the best part about it, whether you believe it or not, is the fact that if you test out your Spirit Helmbreaker, your base damage of a red Spirit Helmbreaker will still be 110. With that being said, you will hit your criticals a lot less because you won't have that extra 10%. Nonetheless, your damage will still remain the same when it comes to your base damage. Overall, giving you a lot to do, giving you a lot of options whether you want to deal that extra damage or have a little more survivability without having to change your build. Making it an amazing build, giving tons of opportunities, dealing tons of damage, and looking incredibly sexy. So if you liked the video, if you've enjoyed the build, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more Monster Hunter World content. For now, your boy Death Gun out.